Okay, hello. Welcome to another episode of Poetry in the PM. Hope everybody's doing well out there, staying safe, spreading love and joy. Again, thank you so much to all our healthcare workers. We love you. If you know anybody who's a healthcare worker, please send them some love. Today's poem is a little different. It's technically a poem. I'm doing a monologue rather, from Shakespeare, as we haven't touched on the amazing, incredible Shakespeare. How could we not mention him in all of this? So I'm going to read a piece, one of my favorite pieces of Shakespeare, from Measure for Measure. Claudio, who's an amazing Italian name, like Claudio Baglioni. He has one of the most amazing speeches. I've studied it always since college and theater school, and it's just so deep and beautiful. And his situation is so tragic. So in Measure for Measure, Claudio basically has impregnated his wife, and out of wedlock, they're not married. And so because of this, it is outlawed at the time, and he's banished, or banished, whatever you prefer, to jail. And because of that, he is now trying to plead his case. His sister Isabella is desperately trying to get him free and is unable to. A man named Angelo, who has been given the power of the Duke while the Duke is away, Isabella goes to Angelo to try and plead to free her brother Claudio, and he, falling in love and thinking Isabella is very beautiful, blackmails her into sleeping with him, but she refuses. She brings this information to Claudio, and at first he, of course, says, "No, don't do that. Like, I'll die." You know what I mean? Like, I would never ask you to do that for me. I would never ask you to sleep with someone else to save my life. You're my sister. I would never ask that of you. But as time goes on, and Claudio is left with the prospect of dying and sitting alone in his cell to think about this, he reconsiders. And when Isabella comes back, he tells her this speech. "Aye, but to die, and go we know not where, to lie in cold obstruction and to rot, this sensible warm motion to become a kneaded clod, and the delighted spirit to bathe in fiery floods, or to reside in thrilling region of thick-ribbed ice, to be imprisoned in the viewless winds and blown with restless violence round about the pendant world, or to be worst and worst of those that lawless and uncertain thought imagine howling. 'Tis too horrible, the weariest and most loathed worldly life that age, ache, penury, and imprisonment can lay on nature is a paradise to what we fear of death." So here, again, Claudio is he's conflicted with his morals. You know, he obviously doesn't want his sister to do this horrible thing to sort of give this man the right of her body to sacrifice his life. But at the same time, he's also saying, "I'm terrified to die," and that there's not a single thing on this earth that nature can lay upon you, like age, ache, penury, and imprisonment, that could even come close to what we fear of death. And it's just so beautifully put. And even though he's trying to do the right thing, you feel for him, and it's a very difficult moment in the play. And there's all kinds of moments where the meter is broken to sense that he's sort of losing his way, and he's falling off of his horse and his rhythm. And it's just beautiful, and Shakespeare is beautiful. So with all this time, if you have never sort of dove into Shakespeare before, or have but not in a long time, go back and look at those sonnets and those plays. They're so gorgeous and so rich. And to be honest, I mean, nowadays there's not a single movie that I'm watching that I'm not like, wow, that's Hamlet. Like Sons of Anarchy, that was Hamlet. You know, everything that's done now is just sort of like an imitation of a Shakespeare play in some way, like they're missing a character, or now that character is the brother, or in Shakespeare's it was the woman that was evil, but this is the same dynamic. So much of what we consume today is so based on our early works of literature, and if you know them, then it's even more enjoyable to see how they're kind of in a way paying homage to those things. So thank you so much for today. I'm going to just hang out with you guys for a second and have you guys maybe ask me some questions. Ask me some questions, guys. Let me know what you're thinking. How are you guys doing? Let me see here. Lots of love, lots of hearts. Brazil. Thank you for doing these lives. It keeps going away. I can't read it fast enough. Brazil and Denmark here. Favorite poet? Probably Shakespeare, to be honest. It sounds so cheesy, but I mean, it's just amazing what he left behind. My God. Even if he wasn't responsible for all of it, who was? It's amazing. Favorite thing to do while quarantined? Eat. Maybe too much. I'm trying to work out every day, though. Dovresti fare un live in italiano. Facciamolo. Brazil. How hard was it to perform your scene in that last episode? It was very challenging. It was very difficult. Mostly just the amount of focus it took, and it was just exhausting, In life, if you've ever had a day where you've just broken down and cried, something horrible's happened in your life, and you've gone through that, imagine, going through that, 15, 16 times over and over again. I mean, it's exhausting and draining, but, knowing that I'm representing a population of people who are struggling with this, hopefully in a way that they appreciate, and bringing light to that, and that makes it all better. Where'd you get your floor lamp? I don't know. I think maybe CB2. I don't know where I got that one. Colombia. Hello from Canada. Love you, Canada. Heard Trudeau's going to help out some families with $2,000 a month for 4 months. I hope that passes and goes through. That would be great. I hope America can do the same. The American government is not doing great right now. They need to act way faster and way more seriously. Families are not getting what they need. How many more episodes will we have? I don't know. At least a couple. All right. I will be signing off now. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, that was Claudio's speech from Measure for Measure from Shakespeare. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Poetry in the PM at 2 p.m. Again, if you like this, share it with your friends. Tell them to follow me and join me every day at 2 p.m. here at Poetry in the PM. Bye, guys.